Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Gary's Mod video. Today, we're playing a map. Obviously you saw the title. Grand Theft Auto 3. Liberty City. So this was an infinite map, if you want to call it that, infinite map. I don't believe it's infinite, but I think that they used the infinity part for this map somehow, so I'm very curious to see how this is done. Obviously, this map is huge already. I did put some fog in, by the way. This is actually what it looks like normally. But, I guess I could play without the fog. I have a fog mod installed. But it kind of helps out because it, stops extra stuff from spawning in. And, yeah, just so it doesn't, lag out, but it also kind of matches the whole theme of GTA 3. And honestly, GTA 3 is my favorite game in general. I like GTA 3 more than GTA 5, to be completely honest with you. It's just a nostalgic game for me. It's a, dated or whatever, to some of you younger guys, it's a bit older. But it has always been one of my favorite games. It's one of my first Grand Theft Auto games I was allowed to play as a child. Technically, I did play San Andreas first, but I was really young at that time. My parents were kind of strict when it came to playing certain games. There's a bit of a weird... So when I walk on these lines, I just kind of go up and down. Interesting. My mom was kind of strict about me playing certain violent games. My first violent game I ever owned was Black Ops 1. I almost said 3. Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And that was for the Wii. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. But, and this is so cool to see it in first person, Like, I know these streets so well. And growing up, I did play a little bit of San Andreas. But, I hate to tell it to you guys, but I didn't play it as much as 3. Like, I didn't have access to it when I got older as much. Like, I played it on the 360. I'd love to play it, like, on a PS2 again, to be completely honest with you. Because I feel like that's the best way to play it. I think a lot of the stuff in the ground kind of... No, I don't know. Maybe it was just this one. No, I don't know. Is this the one building where, no, there's like a whole bunch that look like this. But I do remember... One thing I do kind of wish that was in this was all the newspapers with Zombie Elvis everywhere. The little Easter egg, if you looked at the newspapers, that were everywhere, by the way. There's thousands of newspapers everywhere. And it was all the same one. It was Zombie Elvis, or something like that. And that was one of the first myths in Grand Theft Auto that actually came out. Which was, Zombie Elvis map. I mean, why did I say map? Zombie Elvis myth. The people were, like, walking around GTA 3 trying to find Zombie Elvis somewhere. But, I'll be honest with you guys. There's only some parts of the map I remember, and then some some I do and some I don't. I'm very curious if they have the beta. Not the beta, but like the beginning area, like the ghost town that they called it. A little bit of lag. I didn't really come to this side of the map. I was always at the very start part of the map. I think this is like the second area that you unlock later on. Visible walls. There's supposed to be fence there. I think some stuff might not have loaded in. So this map actually took me about 3 minutes to actually load in. So I just want to let you guys know, if you install this map, which is down in the description down below. I did not make the map, of course. Somebody else did. The map will take a while to download. I like that you can just walk on water. Man, I remember back in the GTA 3 days, is if you touched water like this, you just start taking instant damage. It was the funniest thing ever. And I remember my good friend Chris, you know, he grew up with San Andreas. And I kind of did grow up with it, but I didn't play it as much. But I remember showing him like the water in GTA 3. I was like he knew that you probably couldn't swim. But me and him laughed so hard about that. He stepped in the water. And that was so hilarious. I believe this is supposed to be like Central Park. Also, interesting. This is actually open. Little weird. Oh, it's supposed to be a reflection. But it's actually just a whole other area down there. That's kind of smart. I wonder if the original, like, GTA 3 did that and you just wouldn't be able to tell as well. From, like, right here, it actually looks pretty good. It's been so long since I've actually, like, gotten pretty far in GTA 3. So I don't remember these little things like that. You know what I mean? I don't know how accurate this section is, at least, to GTA 3. I do remember driving down this road a little bit, though, and always finding people to hit. Man, it's crazy how Grand Theft Auto has aged, you know? You just hit random people walking on the street. I remember this area, too. Specifically because one of these had something on it that was kind of funny. I just don't remember what it was. Yeah, it was this. It was this. I remember the See You in Miami. And this was a reference to, I think, Vice City or something. But man, this is so cool to see. I remember this area here really well. This is so cool to see it in first person, though. I'll tell you what. People are going to think I love New York at this point. What was your guys' favorite Grand Theft Auto? I know a lot of you are probably going to say 5. And I'm not judging. 5 is actually very good. But it's not my favorite gameplay or story. I think 4 definitely is the best in that aspect, in my opinion. 5 definitely had some good stuff here and there, though. It was definitely the funniest out of all of them. And honestly, there was not as much replay value as 4, in my opinion, to 5. Well, I don't know, I'd say it's about the same. Every Grand Theft Auto game kind of has the same replay value in a way, except 4 and 5. You just play those once or twice, and you just kind of never really touch it again. That's just how I see it. Like, I mean, when's the last time you guys have ever played the story to GTA 5? Most of you, I'm sure, are playing online. Look at that. That's kind of trippy. You guys remember in San Andreas, the Blue Hell? That was so interesting. They had a little bit of out of bounds areas in 3 back in the day. Man, I'm just gonna say this right now. I know some of you guys really liked the whole remake of those. But I didn't. I did not like the remake of those games. I do want to replay 3 for sure on that, because I feel like the graphics might actually fit. Maybe not for 3, but maybe Vice City. I just don't think that the graphics that they had for that fit San Andreas or 3 as well, because 3 and San Andreas are very, they have areas in the game that are very dark and depressing, specifically 3, you know. San Andreas had the beach and stuff, but that game was still very, dark, you know, in some spots. But Vice City was always very bright and colorful, and I feel like the graphics fit that one actually pretty decently. It was weird that they put them all in the same engine, though. But, I do have San Andreas for the remake. I think that these are supposed to be reflections, but it's just kind of weird looking. I don't know if they used to look like this back in the day, or if just stuff kind of glitched when it loaded in. Obviously, we're getting a bit of lag here still. I love the history to GTA 3 as well, like the terrible things that happened around at the time, like 9/11 and stuff. When the development of the game was going on, they had to change so much about the game. It's crazy learning about that kind of stuff. But this video is just going to be me walking around talking about my experiences in certain areas. Like, I don't even know what this is. Is this like a mall area here? No, this is the police. I do remember being in front of here, trying to steal one of their cars. Because it was fun as a child to roleplay as a cop and pull people over. I like how you actually used to get money for crashing into people, though, back in the day. That was actually one of my favorite things to do, was just crash. I mean, especially 4, like, just driving as fast as you can and then jumping out of the car in 4. As awful as that is, that was, like, one of the funnest things to do. And if I ever play Grand Theft Auto, I don't know if I'd ever, like, trust recording it on YouTube because of how strict the guidelines are. I could censor stuff out, but I'd rather stream those games, you know what I mean? And, man, GTA 4, I think definitely has the best story out of all of the Grand Theft Autos. 100%. I think Nico Bellic was one of the most thought out, best characters in the game. I am going to no-clip a little bit in this map. But I remember this area here. There's always these little myths that people would make up at school. And a lot of you probably have the same thing now, but with different games, you know. But growing up, there's like myths of like alligators. There's myths of that was mostly GTA 4 though. There's myths of like ghosts everywhere in just any area that was even a little bit dark. And people would spread these little rumors around, and you'd go home, you know, you'd be happy and excited and be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this ghost. And nothing would happen. But you just straight up lie to your friends and tell each other like, oh, there's a ghost girl around here. I remember there's this one myth that I particularly like looked for because somebody told me, was I think it was around the time, because at the beginning of the game this bridge is like broken. I don't know if it's this bridge or yeah, it was this bridge because I recognize this section here. This bridge here is broken, and you could if you're very, very careful, you could land on one of these. And I remember there's a myth that happened at my school, people saying that there was always a ghost. It was always a ghost girl, by the way. There's always a ghost on one of these, but you had to land there. And I remember spending hours looking for this thing. And I spread a few rumors around too, like I'd be like, oh, I saw Ratman in the tunnels. You know, there's Ratman rumors even for 3. But it was kind of funny because everyone had San Andreas, and I was playing GTA 3. And San Andreas was so big compared to 3, and there was so many more myths for San Andreas. I was just kind of like, I was jealous because I didn't have the same myths in my game that they had. And I love so much that Grand Theft Auto Rockstar has made myths actually true in their games. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, there's so many that are actually in the game. And that makes me so happy because now kids like can actually just be at school and be like, hey, there's a ghost train. Or there's a screaming girl in the woods, which is actually true that a lot of people don't know about. Um, I did not just make that up. I swear there's actually a screaming girl. I just learned about that recently, and I'm definitely going to have to bring back game Ghost Hunters again because playing this is making me nostalgic. I remember the gun shops. Always looked kind of the same. I think you'd always end up getting your guns behind the shop, though, instead. But, yeah. If you guys don't know what game Ghost Hunters is, it's a series where I play certain games and I look for haunted stuff, even if it's not real. We still look for that shit. You know what I mean? And that's what made it fun. It was me and Chris. And it was a little series that I mostly did bully. I think that's all I did. But I might bring it back. I don't know if Chris is going to be in all of them, though. But I'll definitely think about having him in. Me and him can definitely look for these things. It might just be me. Because Chris is busy. Quite a bit. But, yeah, Chris is a friend of mine. For people who don't know, he's usually on the channel. But, well, not usually. He used to be on the channel a lot more when I used to stream every day. I do remember the excitement I felt getting to this side of the bridge, though. With the tank glitch. You'd get a tank, and you just keep shooting, and you'd be able to fly in the air. It's so funny. I just want to get to where I know. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. But, man, let's see what this looks like without the fog. It's not bad, actually. I kind of like how it looks like this. Where everything isn't loaded in right away. But at the same time, I kind of like the fog because it gets rid of that illusion that you can see right there. You know what I mean? Like if I did this, you wouldn't be able to see that. So I'm going to keep the fog installed. I don't know why I say installed. I'm just going to keep it in. I think this is the side I was at all the time. Let me actually turn the fog off. Oh yeah, it was. Because I remember this rail system leads to a little thing over there. This is the part I remember the most. Like, even after I beat the game, I always hung out here because I was scared of the rest of the world. But, it was just fun being in this side of the town, you know? It's so crazy to think about how small these maps actually were compared to newer maps, like GTA 5. I remember all the rumors. Everybody would be like, it's like 3 San Andreas maps. And I was just so hyped for 5. You know? I remember the rumors people talked about. I remember the trailers for like Trevor, Michael, and Franklin. And everyone was like comparing each other to them. You know, I was always Michael. And had a friend who was Trevor all the time. And Chris was Franklin. I was Michael, and then my friend who had anger issues was Trevor. He actually did have anger issues. You know how many times I failed this? I remember this one time making my friend laugh so hard that he started like spitting milk out of his nose. I did a ramp right here. I was trying to ramp right here, and I was listening to opera music because I don't. Honestly, that opera music in Grand Theft Auto was kind of lit, though. I was just driving around listening to opera music, running people over, and then I saw this, and my instinct was to ramp this spot right here, and I fell in. And I just remember sinking, kind of like that, actually, while opera music was playing. And I was just like, I don't want to die to this music. And he was just laughing so hard. That was a good time. He was actually a cousin of mine. And there's an area around here that people would talk about that was haunted. All the people who played GTA 3 with me and didn't have San Andreas. It was this area here. They'd say that you'd see somebody on the dock here. They'd say you'd see somebody in a wheelchair sitting here. But there's also that same thing in San Andreas, that same myth. But then there is also this tunnel here. Where apparently you'd see Darko, who was this one character who was a terrorist, I believe, who was cut from the game for a lot of good reasons. Because at the time, it probably wouldn't be a great idea to have a terrorist in a game. Also, this place, I remember here. You can't go inside. Bub. I love that. Bub. Man, just playing this map makes me so nostalgic. I believe over here... No, this is where the train station is. If I wanted to go to the area where you, like, break down your cars, I think it's further down this area. But here's Chinatown, I think it was called. There's this one specific mission. You know, GTA 3 had one of the most freedoms in a game. So what was so fun about this one? I don't remember where it was though. There's like an alleyway. It was this area here. I think he took off here. So you'd enter this area, you're chasing this guy. And he had this car. But the thing was, before the mission started, no, it was here. You'd run after him. And he had this car that was right here, I believe. He'd get in his car, but the thing was, before the mission starts, you can actually see his car. So, I don't think you could destroy the car. You're supposed to kill this guy, right? So there's actually this one area where you can attach bombs to cars. And, you could attach a bomb to this guy's car before the mission starts. And then once the mission actually starts, his car would actually blow up. And that was optional. You don't really get a lot of options in Rockstar games nowadays, and I wish... I think Red Dead Redemption 2 did alright. But it was also still kind of limited. But, yeah, I didn't really come here quite as much, but I mean... I just kind of drive through. Run over a few people. Cause some war crimes. I always sped down this road. I mean, who didn't? I mean, this is the road to run, speed down when you're being, chased by police. But I believe over here is... I remember people trying to tell me there's Bigfoot in GTA 3 when they'd never even played GTA 3. That's just a random, thought that kind of came to me. I didn't mean to rhyme. Like lemon lime. I don't think I'm supposed to be in this area here, but... Oh god, it's Liminal Space Hotel. I don't know what that's all about, to be honest with you. I remember all the cheat codes were something people used to spread around. It was over here, I believe the shop was. It was right here. Where you could put bombs into cars. Right here. No, wait, no, this is where the car was. That was, what the hell was that? This is where you could sell your car. You'd get money for breaking down a car. It was right here. It was the 8-ball thing, yeah. So you'd put your car into here and it would, blow up. 8-ball auto yard. But there's a car in here that was like one of the fastest cars in the game. It might have been the fastest. Oh, you can actually go inside. Except the car's in here, sadly. But it was it's just a really nice car. And I was never a car person in the game, but I liked that car. I mean, in real life. But, yeah, you'd come here, you'd set your car in this area here. You get out, and then you could get quite a bit of money for it. That was a good way to grind money. But I think the best way to grind money was just crashing into people. And here's the little subway area. There's another one down, way down here. I remember just walking on this thing for hours. I wouldn't say hours, but a long time. But we're gonna be no clipping quite a bit. I want to try to find the Darko tunnel that they would call them. I believe that was down this way. Maybe the area I was at was the Darko tunnel. No, yeah, it was. This was really dark though. I just remember there being another tunnel that was bigger. I just can't remember where it was. But man, whenever you die, this is where you'd respawn. There's always like the health in front of here. Saw that place quite a bit, honestly. I died a lot. I remember back in the day the prostitutes for 3. They just sit in your car. You could just drive around with them and they just take your money. There wasn't really anything interesting about them. I think it was here where the pedestrians would fall from the roof here. It was like right around here. No, it was right here. Because their pathing was broken and then they would spawn up here and then they would fall right off and it was like I remember finding that and being scared. I think they fixed that in later games though, if I remember correctly. I actually played GTA 3 mostly on uh Xbox, like the first Xbox. But yeah, this fog actually does kind of add to it. I like it. Like it a lot. Um yeah, there's some secret missions here on this phone here as well. And that's one of the things I remember. It was you had to come here at a certain time. There's nothing on the map that indicated that there's missions here. I forgot what time it was. Is at a specific time you'd come here, and I believe you would bring people here, and I'm pretty sure that they would turn them into dog food. This is not made up, by the way. A lot of people don't know about this, but that was a secret mission. But over here, this is like a good place to get weapons for like starting off the game. Like there's always people with a knife, I think, and I think there's a few weapons laying around, but I don't remember. The docks were also supposedly haunted. Isn't this where you actually start GTA 4? I can't remember, but I think GTA 4 does start on these docks. Hmm. I don't really remember seeing rocks like this. So, there's another area I want to check out. It was like this beach area that I always ended up at no matter what. I think it was way over on the other side of town. But we'll no clip there. And yes, we will check out the last area of the map. Like the last section, but I just wanted to look at what was important to me at least. A lot of missions in this area here. You know, I should probably actually no clip. Before we even do that, we should probably just go home. Like to the first place that you get, which is right here. Oh, you can actually go inside. That's quite nice. In GTA 3, you could never go inside, but your character would walk in, and then that was the save. There's this garage here where you would save your cars. Pretty nice. But yeah, it was uphill. It was in this area here. This was one of the haunted houses as well. That they would call it, at least. Speeding down these hills was super fun, though. There's always something in the way, man. Always. Here it is, yep. Ow. I always end up falling at least once. Kinda wish the GTA 3 music would play in here. It's kinda hard to navigate in here. But yeah, in this area here, the music would play, but apparently this place was haunted. Which it wasn't, but it was one of the fun little myths that we told each other. And everything is so quiet. I also, yeah, and it was here. Apparently you'd see somebody sitting down on one of these benches. There's myths to everything when San Andreas came out into these older ones. Also remember being able to get over here. I can't remember how I did it though. But yeah, I always ended up here. I'd come down this area here. And my cars would always blow up down here. But I just thought this area here was so cool when I was younger. I don't know why. But it was this area here. I actually want to turn the fog off. You could actually look inside here, I believe, and then see like the Easter egg town or something. But there's a spot around here where you'd glitch and you'd be able to get to this. It's not an Easter egg town, but it was like the ghost town they would call it. I don't know if that actually exists in this. It was basically like the intro to the game, but you know, I don't know. Maybe this map actually is infinite. I don't know if I want to test that out. There was mountains and stuff in the distance though, like in the original game. I also, you know what one of my favorite myths was as a kid growing up that I really believed for quite a while was SpongeBob. I thought SpongeBob was in the game. Don't even ask me like anything else. Like just know that I thought SpongeBob was in San Andreas. It wasn't this one. It was San Andreas. And I didn't play San Andreas much, so I didn't know. And then for a while I thought maybe it was just a pineapple under the sea that you'd be able to find. And I still don't know if that one is true or not, actually. And then I remember being so interested in that, I had dreams about it. I was a weird kid. Here we got the old buildings. This construction always pissed me off. Really did, actually. I always ended up, like, trying to get away, and then that would screw me over. These just JPEGs of clothes hanging. I mean, it would make a lot of sense, but they got the black square. I wonder if that was in the original. Also, speaking of that, I think you could come in this area in San Andreas. Like, there's a little reference to this spot here. I don't know, I haven't played it. I haven't beaten the game. That's something I do want to do in the future, though. Would you guys be down to watch me play that? I remember coming up here quite a bit as well. I think it was here. Whoa. Man. So nostalgic. So much nostalgia. Let's die. Because then we spawn back here. So, I sucked at the game when I was a kid, so for a long time I thought that the only place in the map was, you know, not there. Was the normal beginning area of the original game. So I thought that this entire area was an Easter egg, so I would glitch here and be like, this is a whole new town. And I remember like glitching into the stadium, which by the way, actually had like a little secret room you can get into. I don't know if it was, I don't even remember, man. Just a weird memory of mine of being able to get into I think it was like a room or something. But I don't think you ever really came into here. And yeah, I didn't really mess around with this area as much. It's kind of nice though, I must say. But yeah, I'd glitch to here from the bridge, I would use the tank glitch because I just kind of messed around in Grand Theft Auto. I didn't care for missions at all. And yeah, I was just like, oh my god, it's real. Even though it was a part of the game. But yeah. This area was always kind of chill. There's the airstrip. I remember spending a lot of time there. Mostly trying to find like a bigger plane. Or trying to get into one of these planes. It was kind of funny. But then we only had the one little plane because of reasons. It's a lot here this time. Good heavens. I wonder if they have the little plane. I don't know. Isn't that just actually a cheat now that I think about it? I can't remember if that was a cheat or actually in the game. It might have just been a cheat because they're so afraid of, getting in trouble. I'm pretty sure that was a cheat, or else it was just in the game files or something. I think it was a cheat because I remember actually being able to get that thing once. I remember that one mission where you had to fight all those guys, I think with just a bat. I think it was over here. Man, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've actually played through this game, but it might have been. As you can see, we're getting a bit of lag, so we're gonna turn that on. It was around here, right? Yeah. And it was right here in this parking lot thing. So this is part of the game that actually glitch, I think, for the PS2. And you wouldn't be able to get past this area, and it would basically ruin your run of the game. But yeah, so much nostalgia to this. I actually it's making me want to just chill out, eat some wings, and just kind of play a game like this again. You know, you ever just have those moments as a kid where you're eating Hot Pockets or something, and you're just playing a game? Those are some of the best moments in your life, and you don't even know. Where you're just chilling, and you have nothing at all to worry about. For the most part. But yeah, it was very cool to just kind of explore this place again. Hopefully I don't get in some kind of trouble for playing this map by Rockstar. Rockstar has been getting kind of strict with their stuff, but this map was not made by me. Like I always like to say. And I really recommend you guys check this map out. It'll be in the description down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed. This is such a good map. So much memories. So many memories. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, be safe, and goodbye.